It's very nice. It sounds like Eleanor Rigby they're singing there, doesn't it? So, but they're not, of course.
No, they're not.
No, it's just me making an odd connection there because I'm getting old. We have the lovely Jo Brand with us. Jo, how lovely to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me again.
Well, I know. I was just going to think you're here almost as often as we are, in fact, really.
I know. I do feel bad about it.
Why do you feel bad about that?
I don't.
Well, it's only because we like your company and you're a lovely guest that we would invite you back. So
Maybe I'm just promoting things all the time in a rather sad and desperate way.
No, you see, I won't hear that. Andy, on the other hand, talking about his show, I don't know if you heard that. Would you watch a show in which men were asked to dress up as women for 8 weeks to win a car?
Yes.
See, I actually have come out and think that is a good show.
Oh, right, thanks.
I'm excited about it.
Are you in it in a dress?
No, I'm not
Andy?
in it, no.
No, but you should wear a dress to show solidarity with the
No, I won't.
Why not?
I put a wig on just to see what it was like. I look like a fat pirate.
That's hardly challenging your gender issues, putting a wig on once. When is the show on? We should just mention this. Because people might want to
20th of June it starts.
So it hasn't started yet?
8 p.m. on Sky after The Simpsons.
Well, there you go. After Britain's Weakest Man or something.
They haven't done that one yet.
Britain's Ugliest Dog. We should make a list of shows we could tell the Sky.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have to wait for that because I haven't got Sky. So
You haven't got Sky?
No.
You haven't got any of the... Well, have you not got your free box?
got a digibox, yeah.
OK, so you get the BBC channels.
Oh yes.
I'm coming to the conclusion, maybe I shouldn't speak out of turn, but I think maybe there are just too many BBC channels now. Because, you can spend half an hour just flicking through the BBC ones
I
trying to find
know.
something you want.
I like the channel where you can watch EastEnders at 10 o'clock.
That's a useful thing.
That is a useful thing.
I'm not so crazy
I
about
quite like the posh one where you've got kind of very complicated plays that you can't understand.
That will be BBC 4.
Yeah, and those are my two that I like, really.
I think it was BBC 4 last night that I dwelt on for a bit too long. It was, who was it? Was it Jane Birkin singing in French? Just looking like a nut, basically. It was like they'd let someone out of one of the places you used to work in. They put her on stage and no one said, come on now, come on, back to bed, come on. Come on.
She's
Hub.
good value, though.
Bonkers, Hub.
Yeah.
Completely bonkers.
Bonkers is all right, though, isn't it? It's more interesting than dull.
You know what, as you get older, I think you seek out bonkers, don't you?
Yes,
Okay.
and get bonkers as well.
How is life going for you? You're busy, aren't you, at the moment?
I am fairly busy, yes.
How did the sitcom go you were working on? You were doing
Ah,
All right, that doesn't
let's
sound
draw
good.
veil over that, shall we? Well, no, it went all right, but...
This was Sister Francis.
It was. It was about nuns in Croydon. Yeah, it went okay, but it was a sitcom for 7 o'clock in the evening that was supposed to go in a 10 o'clock slot, so it wasn't really rude enough.
Right.
So we have to rude it up and.
But if once one puts the rudeness in, you think you've got a show that's going to work there?
Who knows? I possibly have to sleep with a few people as well.
I would like to see it. I mean, I haven't seen it. Not you
No,
sleeping
you
with people.
wouldn't.
I would like to see Sister Francis. I
You
would.
wouldn't, Jonathan.
I'd like to see at least one.
All right, I'll bring a tape round.
Well, that would be
You can
nice.
lose that as well.
No, hang on. I can't help it. You know what it is? I get
I
given too
know.
many books.
I'm not, honestly, I am not in any way.
At least I started yours. David Baddiel bought me his new book round last week. I've lost it. I didn't even read the first page yet. I don't know where it's gone.
I just read his second book, actually.
Okay, well, then he should
Very
give us-
good.
He should give us.
Have you read that?
I started reading it.
you lost
I didn't
time.
know. I didn't lose it. I just didn't like it so much.
You like the laddie first one,
Yeah, I
did
like
you?
the first one. Jo Brand has a book out, Sorting Out Billy. Now, this is a clever thing I've noticed already. In the one that you
that?
gave me and I lost,
Yeah.
you wouldn't necessarily have known it was by Jo Brand. And yet, here on the cover, the Billy, the L's in the word Billy, are two Doc Martin boots,
Yes.
which one does sort of associate with you.
I know, as I said to the publishers, I don't think you should have those boots on the front because that's kind of like quite a sort of 80s image, but
Yeah.
they liked it. So
Well, it's in a man's name, so it's not 80s so much. I mean, I think, there is an 80s feel about Doc Martens, but certainly it kind of works. But that's the key thing with these sort of books, isn't it, these days? When
I hope so.
But you want to know who it's by, you want to know what it is from the cover.
Yes.
Okay. And how long did it take you to write?
From November till the following July.
Well, that's not too bad.
And it was just kind of like half an hour at night when the kids were asleep.
No, don't say
Right.
that. You've got to make it seem like it was a long labour of love.
Oh,
You know that
and
you worked
also 17 hours during the day.
That's it. 17 hours a day and then half an hour at night to polish.
Yes.
Did you enjoy the writing experience, though?
Do you know what? I really did. I didn't think I would, but it was really good fun.
And what was nice about it?
Just getting a chance to sit down for 10 minutes was quite good.
But there is that. Sometimes working is easy because you can get away from all the distractions in your life.
Exactly. It was just nice to have a bit of peace and quiet, to be honest.
Yeah. This week we've had a bit of a turmoil at home, and one of the kids is a bit sick from school. And the nicest, the easiest part of my week, the most relaxing part of the week, was at the studio doing my show. Because I had people running around looking after me, nothing, and everyone was saying, "Oh, you're working. Great. That's the best time sometimes."
It is hard work at home sometimes, isn't it?
It's the hardest work.
When they're going bonkers.
Are you going to have any more children, do you think?
Yes.
When are you going to have one?
I'm going to have one in about a week, hopefully.
Well, do you think it would be a good thing to be able to just speed up the gestation period? And
At
actually
my age,
squeeze it in?
yes. It definitely would.
I think that's it for me with kids.
How many have you got? 3?
I've got 3, and I think I was.
But I can sort of see you with about, 12.
I'm thinking of having myself snipped.
Are you?
Yeah, not live on air, but maybe. But I'm worried about the swelling.
If you get snipped or the swelling generally.
Well,
If you
actually,
don't.
both when you mention it. But I've been told there's a terrible, painful swelling that occurs after the.
I've heard that actually it's nothing compared to having it reversed.
Oh, really? Well, then you want to
So
make
you
sure
need
you're
to
certain.
be absolutely sure you're certain.
Because childbirth, was that a painful experience for you?
No,
I
I was so off my face on a wonderful selection of drugs that it was quite a great experience.
Which were the drugs? Pethidine, did you have?
Yeah.
Pethidine is a kind of
Had
an opiate,
some
I believe, isn't it?
Speed and an E. No, yes, it was all the drugs they give you in hospital.
Yeah. So it's quite a nice cocktail.
It was.
They know what they're doing.
They do, and for once, and also after having the baby as well, they give you morphine for 5 days, which is delightful.
Yeah, I didn't know that you got that kind of aftercare service.
Yes, that's a special hospital that I've
If I'd have known that, I'd have had a baby. Let's have some music, and we'll talk properly about your book after this. What track are we going to play, Andy?
Bit of Amy Winehouse.
Oh, lovely. The Great Nirvana.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'd have stuck around, what they'd be doing now. Not all of them,
Hope he's
obviously,
still
most of them
working.
are there. But no, I know working, but, what sort of music? Do you ever speculate on this kind of thing?
Not really, no.
Because you're more more bread and butter, aren't you, really?
Well, no, 'cause
it's
it's
like,
the same-
must get through day.
No, it's
eat,
the same with,
drink,
like, Elvis,
sleep, whereas
you know.
I'm
But
thinking,
that's why you're such a good pairing, you see.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? To hear
But
that
Elvis
being
is the
endorsed?
same. People still speculate what he'd be like, and I think you'd probably think, no, you probably wouldn't want him to be still going.
Of course you would. What are
I don't know if you
would.
would you?
Of course you would.
I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't want Elvis still here.
No, I don't think I would anymore.
Well, what if he was in such a bad state?
Yeah, that's what
that
worries
he
Well,
me.
don't
was
start
in-
getting depressed about like his liver's
Oh,
gone or
sorry,
something.
I
I'm
forgot
saying
with-
if he was in good health,
If he was in good health,
he seemed to be turning himself around at the
he
end,
might
didn't he?
have become like Des O'Connor.
That's not such a bad thing.
No, that's what I mean.
What, he
kind
turned
of
himself round?
got a chat show and got
Yeah.
Yeah. Darwin.
It was
Who
marvellous.
doesn't realise that meant we had to have an Elvis impression.
My first guest this evening, Professor Steve Hawkins.
Oh, no.
Professor Hawkins, yes. Also, use
I
the
wish
black
I'd
hole.
said that now.
Yes, the black hole is evident in. Also, and we're going to sing a song together.
Have you ever thought of doing a show where you do impressions
Yeah.
of people?
I've made any number of pilots. It's called Who Do You Do? But for once, it wasn't a rhetorical question. Joe Brand has a novel out. It's called Sorting Out Billy. Now, this is your first novel, isn't it?
It is.
All right. I'm going to ask the question which everyone's asking. I'm hoping the answer is no. This isn't based on your life, is it?
No, it isn't.
Thank heavens for that. Phew. Tell us the now that we've established that, describe the plot to us a little bit.
Well, the premise is that it's about 3 women friends who live in South London, which, funnily enough, is where I live.
Yep.
And one of them has a boyfriend who knocks her about, so the other 2 decide that they're going to sort him out.
So it's
That's-
basically, it's an empowerment story to an extent.
Hopefully it's not that simplistic. I mean, it does sound like a kind of radical feminist revenge novel, but it's not really. It's more kind of about how people are fallible, and it's how you want to help your friends out in those sort of circumstances, but you have ambivalent feelings about it, as do they. And I just hope it's a nice, dark comic novel.
It does sound great. I mean, I like the fact that it's that complex, because that would be in real life. I don't know if you know anyone in those circumstances, but what an awful circumstance to find yourself in.
Terrible, but also I think not as black and white as people think.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Because it's something that I think you can come back from with a bit of help. I think alcohol plays a massive part.
And other substance abuse always.
Of course.
I mean, there's a story in the papers this week, which I suppose we can't dwell on, but there does seem to be something going on in one high-level celebrity couple's relationship, which involves possibly,
Absolutely.
which is not good.
No.
But you wouldn't endorse necessarily killing the
someone.
abusive partner.
Depends who it was.
Yeah, I mean, the
No, of
knee-jerk
course I
reaction is that.
Of course, I wouldn't. I think that's what people think it's going to be like. You know, that they just take him out and lynch him, but it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of they have a go at different ways of sorting things out, as you would do if a friend of yours was in that situation. You know?
Is it kind of... I get the feeling that it... and once again, I haven't read it. I got to about page 20 before it was lost. Is it? Does it have the kind of comedy that one would imagine an Ealing comedy would have? Because sometimes they would deal with dark... So I'm thinking of things like The Lady Killers,
Yeah.
Kind Hearts and Coronets. There were deaths which, you know, and those kind of like that darkness which can be played quite lightly.
If only I could aspire to the level of comedy in Ealing comedies. It'd be nice to think so. It's probably a bit more heavy-handed than that, but it's kind of got. Of course, one of the characters in it is an aspiring stand-up comic because there's no point writing about stuff you don't know
Well,
about.
that's the thing,
so
right? Well, you know, so South London
I
comic.
just wanted to kind of give people a flavour of what it's like if you're a woman comic, for example, and I just hope it's funny and it's a good laugh, really, and people read it and enjoy it and then forget it and read something else.
Well, Sarah, who's working here, she's been reading it. She didn't lose her copy, and she's been enjoying it. So far, so good. Is it hard?
That's the best review I've ever had of it. Fine.
On the back. I haven't finished it yet, but so far, so good. Well, there's a degree of honesty in that review, which I think people would respond to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any interest yet in making this into a TV drama or a film? Because that seems to be... It sounds to me like it's the sort of subject that would work very well.
None whatsoever. But anyway, thanks for that suggestion.
But, you know,
Someone
it
might be listening.
does sound like it would make a really good series.
Should we do it then?
Yeah.
Who would you like to be?
I wouldn't look at Andy when you're saying that. He'd have all the men played by women and vice versa in it, and they'd win a car at the end.
No, I think that's a good idea, something a bit different. It's like I thought with my Nun sitcom that's on hold at the moment, why not have all men in that dressed up as nuns?
A lot of men love
for a
dressing up as
laugh?
nuns, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Do you think there are nuns who actually are men?
No.
No, okay.
There may well
Do you think
be.
there are any nuns who are robots? No, seriously, don't laugh it off.
We're not
Think
going to a
about
voice here, are
What
we?
if there's some... no, there might be a robot nun out there.
We're not going to do a robot nun voice.
The Nunatron. You're not even going to join me on this.
No, because you'll probably
You
go...
can get a very good toy actually called a Nunzilla. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen Nunzilla.
And it's a wind-up nun, and it walks around. I can't remember what it says, but it breathes fire out of its mouth
that's
and
a
looks
good
quite
one.
scary.
Didn't they have punching nuns as well once? You used to have those boxing things. And they were nuns.
No. Terry Wogan told you about his school experiences in strict confidence. Don't do that.
Sure, they were punching nuns.
There are some times when you overstep the mark, young man. Let's have some more music. What do we got lined up?
This is the new single from Gomez.
Oh,
Out
good.
Monday.
I like Gomez. That was great.
Yeah.
I like that a
It's
lot.
called Silence.
Gomez, do they have hits and stuff? Do people buy them?
I think there's a big fan base for them. I think that sounds like a potential hit because it's a bit more poppy.
Who's in the charts? Anyone here got any idea who's in the charts at the moment?
There's someone called Eamon.
Eamon, he's number one.
Yeah,
I've
but
got his
have you
album.
heard Eamon?
No, I've got it here.
Oh, go on, let's hear that.
Have you
then.
heard it?
Yes, I have.
Do you listen to the charts?
Occasionally, because I've got sort of children.
I think
feel
there's
like
language,
in the
though.
future, I
You
need
should
to be
know,
able
yeah.
to know who someone is.
I don't
you
really know who buys what anymore. It's an age thing, isn't it?
It is an age thing. Do you not buy singles anymore,
Not
Jonathan?
really. Well, I don't buy any anymore. It's all set to me free, of course, because I'm essentially like a royal family now.
And all you have to do is mention the name of a record, and it's number one.
Joe, are you surprised that
What
there
about?
isn't a statue
Here we go.
To you.
in my honour anywhere? No,
always back
seriously,
to
are
you,
you not
isn't
surprised? What's wrong with asking that question?
You always
Is that-
mention the statue.
Well,
of
I
you.
wonder why that hasn't happened
But
yet.
are there statues anywhere of anyone that's in
They're
kind of light entertainment?
No.
Max Miller, they're putting one up in Brighton. They're just raising the final bit of cash.
Are you comparing yourself to Max Miller?
No, not in any way at all.
Right.
I'm far better.
Because I'm thinking legend,
Yeah.
right?
Isn't there an Eric
versus-
Morecambe one somewhere?
I should hope so. There should be.
In Morecambe, probably.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want a life-size one necessarily. A small one would do. And you could. I don't
I'll
mind.
sort one out for you. Where do you want one?
How about if you put a slot on my head, people could use it to donate to charity. I don't mind that. I'll wear a built-up
Slot
shoe outside
on
the
your
shop.
head properly, like on your real head.
Take one off.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of charity, Joe is about to do a fun one for charity. Now, this is something, not being unkind in any way, but one wouldn't associate you with running for fun or any other reason, even for the
not.
bus, in fact.
No, well, I never have done. That's why it's proving such hell.
Well, are
but
you-
you're doing it as well, aren't you?
Yeah, but look at me. I'm like as Wogan would sound, like a racing snake.
You're not, Jonathan. I saw you in that, what is it, that star in a reasonably priced car thing.
What's wrong with that? I was good in that.
Oh, you looked so out of place.
Did I?
You were sitting down at that point as well, so I can't imagine you exercising either, really.
I'm strong. Here, fill this on. Go on.
Bloody hell, no, that's not bad
You
at
see,
all.
that's pretty good. And this one's like a noodle loaf. But the right arm
Do
that
you
I lift
do
children with,
weightlifting then?
only with the right arm. The left
Right.
arm I like keeping thin, so the ladies have got a choice. So if they want a muscle man, I lie on the left. If they want a little slight, sort of
Wimpy
like
sort
a
of-
teenager, you know, like a
right.
young boy who needs teaching. But the training for the fun one, you're going to train for this? You're going
I
to.
am training at the moment.
And what is your training regimen?
What I do is I look in yellow pages. I find chip shops kind of within sort of distances of my house, and I'm kind of gradually going to further and further
Jog
away
out
ones.
to the chip shop and then slowly back. Hey, isn't that one of the best things on the planet? Eating chips covered in salt and vinegar at night, al fresco, when walking home.
Fantastic.
Isn't that one of the best things ever? You know what makes it even better?
What?
The Savoy.
Right. I thought you were going to say walking past a statue of you on your way.
Now you're talking about
putting
your
the
dream.
change in
Now
your
it's the
head.
dream combo there.
Putting your change from your chips in your head as
Look.
you go out of the chip shop.
Far be it from me to suggest this, but Eros, let's face it, we've had Eros for too long in the centre
Yeah,
there.
I've
We've
never been a fan of Eros.
never been a fan of Eros. Who was
What
Eros?
about that
What shows did he
plinth
make? Nothing.
what about that plinth in Trafalgar Square? Have they filled that up?
No.
yet?
Going
Yeah.
begging. It's going begging.
They are perfect.
You know, don't you think so? Seriously, Joe.
Yeah, why not?
Well, that's it then. I think we've agreed.
But
Surely now it's just the
unfortunately,
paperwork.
Although I do have a direct line to Ken Livingstone, I'm not sure he'd listen to me. But I'll have a go if you want on your behalf.
Wouldn't it be nice?
It would be nice.
All right, well, let's work on it. But when is the fun one? When are you doing this? This is for
It's for sport
This is
relief.
like June, I think, and is that right?
July the 10th.
Okay, July. And do you get sponsored for this, or is it just your presence? It's not going to be televised, is it?
Well, I think it is actually
Right.
the bit where I kind of cough blood and have to be taken to hospital.
And you've got to run a mile.
Yes.
Now, when we use the word run,
Yes, it's loose. It's a loose description of what I actually do
You
to
could do
get from A to B.
fast walking.
Well, there's a trolley involved for some of the journey.
Women do walk
obviously.
differently to men, don't they? They kind of bustle more, don't they? There's more of a kind of a peahen approach to walking.
Well, I think it depends if you're me or Paula Radcliffe.
I suppose so.
I bustle big time.
Yeah, because you've got lots of stuff going on there.
What, fat, do you mean?
No.
I have. Honestly, it's hard running if you're a fat
Yeah,
person
it's
because
all-
it's like having a rucksacks of lard attached to your body.
I've
And it makes it difficult. So I actually think it's much harder for someone like me
is.
than a thin person.
There's no doubt in my mind, and I know I've been plump and I've been slender, and when I'm carrying extra
Which one
pounds,
do you prefer?
I kind of in terms of looking good in smart
Yeah,
clothing,
slender's
slender, you see.
obviously,
But and actually the rest of the time I'm not bothered. But I like when I have been healthy in my life, when I've been fit, I've really liked that feeling. It's not happened that often. I've really enjoyed the feeling, and I wish I could stick with it. But when I've been the worst thing about being a bit fat, is when I bend to do my shoelace or something, that big bit in the middle that gets in the way, and you feel it there. It's got it right now, and that's a
Well,
weird
you've
thing.
never had a bit that
Not
a bit that
huge,
big,
no.
surely.
Not that. Well, I beg your pardon.
You've never had a bit that big that would prevent you from sort of comfortably doing your shoelaces
Well,
up,
yes,
surely.
yes. Once I was about 15.5 stone, which is quite big.
But you're quite tall.
Yeah,
so
I'm 8 foot, so it is quite. It evens out nicely. But you're not worried about doing the one, though, are you?
in terms of my health and possibly dying.
Or finishing it, yeah.
Oh, I don't know yet. Ask me in, well...
Because a mile is quite a trot if you've not been running.
It is quite a long way. Yeah, well, I am running around a field at the moment, sort of trying to kind of do it. As I say, without coughing blood, without kind of passing out.
So, and I think the key is big breaths.
Big...
And
Do you
it
know
is.
what?
You fill your lungs.
You are Mr. Seaside Postcard.
No,
you
I
are.
didn't mean that as a joke. You see, that's your mind's working there. I was just saying, that's when you run. It's good for the running thing.
Yes, obviously, that is an issue as well. You don't see women marathon runners with great big knockers, do you?
But I tell you what, if there were some, there'd be
You'd
a lot more
watching
people out there with
marathons.
cameras.
Yes, yeah, I know.
It would be on Sky One if there were.
Not just men and motors, as it probably is.
What do we have lined up? Another track there?
Yeah?
What do you have?
Elvis Costello.
Hooray!
Elvis Costello. What?
It's just the way he said it.
Well, I'm just trying to be forceful. I'm trying to take the initiative here.
Yeah,
you know,
new lace sleeves.
Oh, because everyone hates on radio shows when there's a track. That's good. Who's that by? And at the end, they don't say who it's by.
Yes,
That could drive you
definitely. I
bonkers.
think it's very important. That happens a lot as well.
I'm talking here with my fellow sports athlete, Joe Brand. The two of us will be doing some work for Sport Relief this year, both jogging a mile.
Yes.
Because I'm not really working out at all for it. I'm going to start getting in good shape. What time do you think? Do you think I'll beat you?
No. I'll tell you what, I'll challenge you to we'll have a time duel.
Well,
How much do you want to put on it?
should we reduce
£5, I suggest.
a five at a charity? I don't know if I want to go that far.
Can you run quite fast?
I don't
for
know.
An extended period.
I think I could probably keep it going for a mile if I had to.
Right.
But you know what? I'm not very good with the start. When I was a kid, I could never do the fast start. And you see people.
You don't need to do a fast start if you're running a mile. If you do a fast start, you'll fall over
That's
within
no good, is
kind
it?
of 100 yards. So you've just got to be consistent.
We've got to
haven't
pace
you?
ourselves. Are we allowed, in the rules of this, are we allowed to stop for coffee on the way?
Yes.
I mean, because the way I look at it is they said, would you run a mile? They didn't say in any given time.
No, you can do what you want. I think they're having two different types of mile. They're having kind of people that are interested in doing a good time,
Right.
and the rest of us.
And all of the rest of us.
who
That's
are
gonna
just-
be- that's
who
gonna
can
be a
stop
crowd.
off for a wee.
It's going to be even now, I need a wee right now. I will need a wee within an hour.
Absolutely.
You know, there's no way about it. You'll probably be weeing as you go, won't you? Because ladies, when they
I
run...
thought I'd wee on the start line and then
Mark
try
your
and hold
territory.
it till the finish.
Wouldn't that be there? Well, now they are going to televise it, obviously.
Now I've promised.
Here she
that.
comes, ladies and gentlemen. Umbrellas at the ready, and she's finished.
But you know, maybe this is an unsavoury topic to approach on
You think so?
a morning radio show. But marathon runners just go as they're running.
No, they don't.
They do.
No, they don't.
They do.
The streets
I
would be
remember
awash.
seeing a marathon runner woman who will remain nameless, and she obviously had a dodgy tummy, right?
Oh.
And she finished the race with the contents of her tummy all over her legs.
Maybe that wasn't lack of control. Maybe that was one-upmanship. You see, you're racing against someone, you're neck and neck, you want to put them off, so you swerve in front and let something go. Like in a Bond movie, they'd let an oil slick out the back of the car to confound
Yes.
the villains behind him. Then,
I think that's a very
and they go, oh, what have you
plausible
done? And then
theory.
they're coughing, they're spluttering, then you've broken their concentration.
Very plausible theory, and I might try it.
I'm going to put that on my
if
list
you're
of things
behind me.
to watch out for on sports shows in future. Underhand racing
The
tactics.
side of sport no one takes
You see,
seriously
but
or
the-
thinks about
But
it.
it's a side of sport that would actually bring more people into the game.
I think so.
Yeah, youngsters.
Absolutely.
Jo Brand has her novel out. It's called Sorting Out Billy. Is it out now already?
It's coming out on Wednesday.
Sorting Out Billy's out on Wednesday. Will there be a book bash, a big launch?
There's a bit of a bash, yeah.
Are you looking forward to it?
I don't know. I'm a bit sort of trepidatious about reviews because they're a whole different kettle of fish from comedy reviews.
Yeah, yeah.
I've just about got over some bad reviews I got in 1987, so...
That doesn't bode well. Maybe don't read them.
All right.
Don't read any reviews, even the good
Okay.
ones. You know, it's best just to carry on. You know what you're doing is
But
good
you
or
know
bad.
what people are like? They say, oh, I saw a really bad review about you in The Guardian. Like your mum or your best friend.
I'll tell you the worst
and then
thing.
you have to read
I
it.
don't know if this has ever happened to you. It's happened to me once or twice. Someone said, oh, there's a lovely review of your show in the Express Reviews. I said, oh, I'll buy a copy. It was maybe not this. I bought a copy. It was one of the worst reviews ever, but it was written very, very kind of archly, and it was really angry and really... But obviously, the person who recommended it to me was an elderly person who hadn't got the point of it.
Of it, yeah.
So she'd thought, really, it was a nice review, and I read it, and I thought, oh, great, a good review, and I was ready to get all puffed up. I got halfway through and thought,
This is really
I'm
horrible.
rubbish.
Yeah, I've had them. I know.
and then you're walking around with a wet blanket on your head for 2 days. Jo Brand, always lovely to see you. You're welcome back anytime.
Yourself too. Thank you very much.
Have a lovely weekend. Good luck in Brighton.
Thank you.
And see you soon, I hope.
Ta-ta.
Okay, bye-bye.